We start off first with the latest from Jammu and Kashmir, where the CCTV footage has emerged of the grenade blast which occurred in Srinagar a while ago. Remember, one person has been reported dead, at least 20 injured in the grenade blast which struck Srinagar's Lal Chowk area. This is the second such incident in a week's time. And our correspondent Ieshan Wani has been getting us the very latest from on ground. Ieshan, what are your sources telling you at this point? The CCTV footage is now all out. One person reported dead, 20 injured, including 3 security personnel.
Well, the police is now trying to identify that person who is trying to lob grenades, and today we also saw a grenade being lobbed at Hari Singh High Street in which actually 20 civilians have been injured and 1 civilian has died. And now this particular person was selling toys at a busy market in Srinagar, and that is where the target was chosen to actually create chaos among the people who have come out to actually buy the essentials and commodities. There were street vendors who came out on a regular basis, and since the situation is getting better, they are trying to put up their carts outside the Srinagar city as well. But the militants are trying to actually target these areas where people try to gather. We saw one attack in Sopore in which 15 civilians were hurt. And now, interestingly, this area is just 50 meters away from the place where the last grenade was lobbed in October. Just last month, there was a grenade attack in the same area in which 5 civilians were hurt. So the overall security mechanism will be something which security forces will have to relook at, and they have actually placed several bunkers constructed in the Srinagar city. But despite that, there are elements who are getting successful in their attempts trying to destabilize the state by a unit territory, now I beg your pardon, and trying to destabilize the life of a common man, and that seems to be the very intention. But the police, after releasing the CCTV footage, our sources are telling us in the police that they are trying to identify this person who has lobbed the grenade. We are told also there are multiple CCTV cameras around this particular location, which is in the heart of Srinagar city. So they are trying to identify this person and nab him down as soon as possible, because there are multiple grenade attacks happening from north to south Kashmir, including in the Srinagar city, which has been a cause of worry for the security forces. Now the challenge will be to actually nab him down and get those people who are involved in these kind of terror attacks. Back to you.
Right, so that's where the investigation is headed as per your sources. Stay with me, Ieshan. Let's also take a closer look at the timing of this attack. The overall situation in Jammu and Kashmir after the bifurcation of the state has been seeing improvement at several levels. This despite the grenade attack that took place at Lal Chowk, which killed at least 1 person and injured 20 people. The newly formed Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir can be seen limping back to normalcy after 3 months, with shut shops beginning to reopen now and private transport increasing rapidly on the roads. Going back across to Ieshan. Ieshan, as we've been discussing, it's been a period of utmost challenges that have been witnessed by Jammu and Kashmir over the last few weeks and months. Now it is progressing towards normalcy. Several steps have been taken, and this attack, of course, is another reminder of the various challenges that have to be overlooked, have to be fought as far as restoring normalcy is concerned.
Well, absolutely right. The aim and intention of such attacks just seems to be disruption of the common man and the common life that is, trying to get on track after the abrogation of Article 370 and the bifurcation of the state. Well, it seems that the target is just civilian population, given the fact that we also witnessed in Sopore bus stand, which from where the buses take off to several routes in the North Kashmir, there was a specific 2 grenade attacks in which we saw the civilians got injured. And now today again, and before that again, there were attacks on the civilian population. Although in this attack, 3 SSB Jawans who were actually deployed for the law and order, and these challenges have also sustained injuries. Although the forces have been, laid around the Srinagar city and also in North and South Kashmir to prevent such attacks and to prevent any protests. But at the same time, preventing these attacks have become difficult for the security forces. And now this is something our sources are telling us, which is being closely being monitored by the security forces, and they are trying to deal with the situation with utmost care. They don't want any civilians to get hurt in attacks like these, because the situation has been something which has been really difficult for the the security forces. They have been on the ground from the last 3 months and trying to deal with the multiple security situations as the security and the situation in the valley gets to normal, like the restoration of the prepaid phones. And we are told by our sources that broadband internet service is likely to be restored at the end of this month. So the government is trying to give signal of normalcy in the Kashmir Valley, and it is being well received by the people as shops are starting to open. We usually would see the shutters rolling down at 10 in the morning in a standard time, but now that is rapidly increasing. There are shops which are opening for a longer period of time. People are coming out for shopping, and now attacks like these are definitely going to hamper that progress, and that is something with the state, with the Union Territory will take very carefully and will have some deterrence to problems like these.
Right. We're going to leave it there for the moment. Ieshan Wani getting us the very latest, those attempts that have been made by elements on ground to try and disrupt the normalcy which Jammu and Kashmir is now looking at after various weeks and months of restrictions. It is now limping back to normalcy. Vehicular traffic also returning to normal levels, as Ieshan is telling us. The grenade attack in the latest, one person has been killed, 20 have been injured.